Howdy folks, we're going to start off today on the Schumann resonance. Hope everybody is well and safe wherever you are in the world. Hope our Creator is blessing you. It is just afternoon here in the United States, Central Time Zone that is, on May the 24th, 2022. We're going to start off on the Schumann over here in Tomsk, Russia. And as we can see, we are getting some power spikes. We got a power of 48 and 45, but that's just for these power spikes. Everything else, I would say, this is actually where we're at. Right here, so we're at about, well, we bring it on over here, it'd actually be about a 9 overall, but the spikes we're getting are 48 and 45, so those are pretty significant. Come over here to the Italian model though, haha, a little bit different. Now for anybody who's watching my videos, you can hit pause at any time, and you can actually take a look at what I've got up here in my thumbnail bar for following, if you'd like to look at them yourselves. You're especially going to want to do that for the Italian model for our Schumann resonance. We're going to come over here and take a look at this. Now right here, this is our electromagnetic field. And as you can see, we've definitely got some activity. The geophones up here are sounding off. So what is it? Now you see all these lines here. You can see where the data is being compressed. So they're trying to hide the true numbers on it. I've shown you guys that many times, but this is our Schumann. Now, this is significant for a multiple of reasons. Number one, you can see that we've got slight bits of activity here, right? These would be indicative of lightning strikes in the area. But what I notice here, if you notice, like right before 1400 UTC time, it literally just spikes straight up. Like there's no real lead up to it. It's just like bam, constant on. So what happened? Do you think it's something that rhymes with the word burn? Like Bernie, or kern, like kernel, or CERN? What do you guys think? I mean, that's an instantaneous on, and that is not something that you usually see. You usually see it come up like this when there's something going on there. So I'm kind of suspicious of that myself. As we come down here, we can also see the same thing here happened. We had a little pop here, and then it turned on straight yesterday. Got a little dip and then back up, and then look at this. Kind of the same thing, almost like lightning strike, and then bam. Constantly on, and then it kind of dipped down, and then constantly on, just blowing completely off the charts 2 days ago. So, yeah. And actually, if you look here, you can notice here how it's coming down, and all of a sudden it shot back up again. That's current. How come they don't show that here yet? I don't know, folks. That's kind of interesting. But we can also take a look at here. This goes by each hour, and we can see there's some serious activity going on. Not exactly sure what that activity is. I've come down here, and I've actually looked at the lightning earlier this morning. Ooh, we've got some nice reds here in the Schumann for our color charts. Very beautiful. But look at this. What in the heck? This right here shows you that they're screwing with stuff. Like plain and simple. They're trying to hide and delete data. They're blurring over it, covering it up. Now, is there lightning in the area? Yeah. The white was been within 20 minutes, so that's kind of frequent. However, that, when we come back up here to the top, this is longer than a 20-minute time frame. Okay, I mean, from here to here, we're looking at 2 hours. So this right here solid is 1 hour. Sorry, if it was only 20 minutes, it would only have been like, it'd be more on this end, and it'd just be, basically be like this, just this little boop. So where'd all this come from? I don't know. Seems a little hinky to me. As we come over to spaceweatherlive.com, we're going to take a look at our flares, and right now we've only got a couple of flares, nothing super major. However, we do have a filament release off of this, and I'm going to show you guys that here in just a second. We're actually going to come over here and look at LASCO C2 and C3 over on spaceweatherpredictioncenter.noaa.gov first, and we're actually going to see it coming off of this side here. And there it is. You see it right here, right towards the end. You can see it coming off, little snap filament. Now, I'm going to be honest with you, I've already taken a look at it. I've got it prepared. Some of this is going to affect us, but not as bad as what you might think. I'll show you guys LASCO C3 over on ISWA. So we come back over here to spaceweatherlive.com. We'll come on down here to look at Enlil. Yes, Enlil, our Anunnaki Sumerian wannabe god. We'll come on down here and we'll take a look at it. Now, it's not showing any kind of a flare or an eruption. In fact, it's showing one off the backside that we had. However, this right here, these are solar winds. These little bands that are arched like this are solar winds. And as we can see, we are going to be taking a strike. And that's what this is right here. It's the show of the solar winds. Boom, right there. Now, the filament release that we just had that kind of snapped up is actually going to catch up with these solar winds, and it's going to blend in. So what got released that's coming at us, it's probably not going to, we're not going to see much of a difference because it's going to blend in with the solar winds. It's just going to seem like a a more dense solar wind impact. Okay, so what I'll do is I'll go ahead and lobby off of these two, and we're going to come right over here to the meat and potatoes of it, and we're going to take a look at it. Right over here, we're going to take a look at 193 angstroms of light, our SDO. Now, we're going to be watching right down here, and you're going to see the eruption right here. As we move forward, right here. Boom, you see that? Now, that eruption that I showed, that Enlil showed, is the one that came off back here. That's the one that it showed. But it's not showing this, because if you notice, there's no eruption. It's just a filament release. Whoosh. Now, you see that got snapped out? Well, right here's a coronal hole that's going to be blowing solar winds our way, so this is going to end up blending in with that. Okay? We'll come over here and we'll take a look at the 304 really quick. As we come over here and we check out the 304, we're going to see that filament release. But we're also going to catch a little flare over here, and then there's a little eruption here. Nothing much of an eruption, more like a little solar canyon. Then we're going to catch another friend over here. Now, keep an eye out. Watch this. Here's the eruption, lower left. Whoosh. Look at all that plasma. Now, again, that got flipped out. That is going to catch right here into this coronal hole that's right here. So, now you can see here, right there is our flare. Okay, we got our flare there. And then we got the little solar canyon eruption here. Right there. Alright, now we'll shrink this down. And we'll take a look down here at the bottom, because we're going to have a little friend coming in and say hi. Shortly thereafter. Where's he at? Oh, there he is. Got our little friend traversing, just leaving the surface of the sun. Real nice and bright right there. And that's about all that we've got there as far as anything to be concerned about. There's all kinds of churning and bubbling on the eastern limb of the sun, which, let's be honest, who isn't surprised by that? It's always on the eastern side. But we'll have to wait and see what happens. Alright, we're going to come on down here and we're going to take a look at stereo ahead chronograph 2. This is the science data. Let's go ahead and get on in here real close. And I've got us already brought up to this guy right here. Got a nice string of them going across. This thing wasn't wanting to move. There we go. And as we carry on forward, we'll see another one. I've actually got one. I went ahead and saved the good ones on here to go ahead and do a little cleanup. Look at this one. I haven't seen one like this before. Now this one, they're all in a line, but it's almost like perfectly horizontal with us. So you can actually kind of see from here where it's smaller. Right here where it's smaller, and then it gets bigger and bigger and bigger, and it's like closer to us to this guy. So the arch is actually in our right close to us. And I've never seen one like this before. So that's actually a rarity, and I absolutely save that, because that's a beautiful thing to be able to witness. Oh, of course. I touched it, so I got to move it again. Sorry, folks. We've got another one right here. We can see the arch here. I believe we've got one more decent arch. You can see them kind of flashing in front of the screen. Whoop. Yeah, there's one down at the bottom, but it barely blends in. Here's a solo. Little solo guy taking off. We've got a nice one arch right here, but that's not the major one. Wait till we get to Lasco C3. Oh, there it is. We've got a nice one right here. They're going up and down. We got two here, and two here, which is what we're typically used to seeing. Yeah, and that's it for that. Now, here's where the fun one is. Lasco C3. Check this out, folks. Look at that. It almost looks like a wing of some sort, or like a bow shape, or like a crescent moon almost. It's really quite interesting, and we've got his little trail here. So, how does he propel himself? Is it from this location here, and the rest of the body's up here? I don't know. It's very interesting to look at, though. That's for sure. Now, next one we're going to see is on the 22nd at 3:54. Oop, I passed it. Right here. I've got one here and one here. And this shape almost reminds me of, like, from the movie Flight of the Navigator. If you guys remember that. This almost kind of reminds me of that design. And this one here as well. It's quite interesting, actually. Now, our next one I'm going to go to is at 4:55. Is it 4:55? That might have been 4:54. Oh, yeah, 4:54 right here. Look at this. We've got like a triangle-shaped one. Like the back is here. Looks like a wing. It's a triangle. I mean, here's the tip here, and then the back corners are back here. This almost looks like this could be our TR3B, folks. But this is as close as I can get it, so I apologize for any not being able to see it. And then we got 11:18. Now, granted, I could spend a lot of time on here and show you guys every individual one, but I mean, look at this. I mean, these are the wings, and like here, this almost looks like a regular plane coming at us almost, but it's a very interesting design or warp of the gravity warping it or something. It's really weird. We've got 2142 right here. Now check this out. Here we got a Borg cube, but if you look, it almost looks like a face. Like right here is the mouth, then you got the nostril, then you got one eye and the eye here, and then like here's the head, and it's like this is the shoulder right here coming up. It's very interesting to look at this one. Our next one is going to be 454. Right here, look at this. These two are splitting off. Zoom, zoom. And then you've got another guy here with his wings. So this is another very interesting one. So we've got 630, which is here. You can see all of them just kind of, I don't know which direction they're going, but multitudes of them. Now this next one, this is the big one. I kind of did a little cheater one yesterday. Look at this fella right here. How are you doing, buddy? Clearly see the wings, the tail, and the head. And when these shapes get bigger like this is what allows me to be able to really zone in on them when they're smaller so I can recognize them. But it's beautiful to see that. In fact, the first time that I saw this is what really got my interest in keeping up with it. Oh, god darn it, did it again. Now our next one is at 1606. Right here, we can clearly see one in his little trail of la 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 behind him. We've got 5:18 in the morning the next day. Right here, again, we've got our, looks like our TR3B, some form of a triangular shape. Very nice. And then our next, yeah, and then yep, that's it right there. So this is why I keep my eyes open, and I'm always looking at this stuff, folks. Sometimes you see a gem just like that one. So keep your eyes open. No fear, and remember that love is the only way forward. Solar Wolf out.